Hi, all of y'all. Gil. So today is August 18th, 2022, 24. So I'm just gonna talk about YouTube. Like how I get along and how I'm going and how I manage YouTube and all that stuff. So, well, you know what? Some of y'all may have a question about how much I make and stuff. So yeah. Well, it all boils down to views, like how many views we get. It all boils down to that. Some people used to think that you make money based on the likes. Well, that's a myth, and it's not true. Well, that's not true that you get paid by the likes. It's by how many views. It's all about the views and the rate. It's typically like about $3 to $5 for every 1,000 views I get. But the secret of YouTube is like you just gotta be you. I mean, you don't want to kill yourself trying to get views or whatever, putting up YouTube, because there's gonna be a lot of channels that make a lot of money. But the thing is that some of these channels, while some people are pretty lucky, like to be able to get a lot of views and stuff, while others it takes some amount of time to get up there. So when it comes to the question of making money on YouTube, it all boils down to the amount of views. It's all about views. And then, but like I say, you have to understand that some people are gifted, and they make money right away, or their views explode and stuff all of a sudden without even trying. I had some youngsters saying hi, like they're riding bikes on the neighborhood. Yeah. That actually kind of applies to some people who get a lot of views for stupid things that they do. Like these dumb, like pranks, for an example. People who do pranks and they get all these views. Some people are pretty gifted on things like that. I mean, yeah, but the most important thing of it all, though, when you're making a YouTube channel, is just be you. You just be you. I mean, you just post the things that you want to post, and you just talk about the things that you want to talk about, and everything. That's the key to loving the platform. That's the key to being happy on YouTube. To be a YouTuber. But for my case, I've been on YouTube since 2009. I started out with posting songs that I don't know the names of and trying to get help on identifying the songs and stuff. It started out with that. But then over time, I decided to go ahead and start doing like how-to videos, like repairing a car, even like replacing a transmission on a car, removing and replacing a transmission. I started out with things like that, mostly how-to videos. I started out with that, and then I had the idea that why not put up an old video, because I have a bunch of old videos. I tried it, and I didn't get anything. I didn't get anything at first. I posted some of the coolest videos up there too. I know I posted the 10 freeway video, and nobody looked at it. Like virtually nobody looked at it. At least maybe for at least a good few years. I would have to say it was probably up there for like 5 years, and nobody really looked at it. I mean, well, because back then YouTube was not big back then, because it was back in 2009. But at the time, you gotta understand that at the time, YouTube was not a big platform back then. So, I mean, I did not actually start getting popular until around 2017, which is about maybe 7 years ago. I didn't start getting popular until around that time. But even then, I gained up to 8,000 subscribers going on to 2017. And then I started in 2009, But one thing I could tell you that your fans will build up. They do build up, whether it's a lot or not. I mean, you will build up fans. One of those things I could tell you. I mean, about my platform. I'm basing it off of my platform. So, but in reality, though, I mean, like from the day that I started YouTube, it was all about hobbies. Because for me, I mean, although even until now, I'm not really focusing on exactly making money on you. I never actually was. Yeah, believe it or not, like it's funny that I say that because I'm getting between $300 to $500 a month, but I'm not even actually posting these videos on YouTube because of the money. It's funny that I say that because it's not exactly the money I'm looking for. I'm only doing this because it's fun. I like doing this. It's fun to do this. It's a hobby. I mean, and plus, I mean, I love the fact that it's like a way of being heard by thousands of people. Like whatever I want to say, that I could be heard by thousands of people. You know, that's what I like. This is what I like. Like including my rant about that I'm gonna be your next president. You know, like I want to tell you what things that I want to do when I become your next president this November. So be ready for me to be your next president this November. So that's an example. Yeah, I want to rant out. You know, I want to talk. I want thousands of people to hear what I have to say about it. It's not a president thing, but it's just the things that I have to say about life. You know, like I like to post things about my life and how I deal with this or that and everything, or how I do this or that, or just my general life. But especially in the case of the old videos, I want to share with all of you about what things look like for me when it was 2000, the year 2000 or 1989, 1990. I mean, I just had this thing about sharing with everybody. I wanted thousands of people to see what things look like in 1990, 91, whatever. I mean, it's just something that was fun doing, you know. And so, yeah, that's my whole intent. You know, it was not about it. It was never actually about money. It's just about like a hobby because it's fun doing this. I mean, that's me. I mean, and that's how everybody should do their YouTube. That's how everybody should start out their YouTube. Just not focusing on money at first. Don't focus on money at first. At least not at first. You just do it because it's fun. You just post videos because it's fun doing it. I mean, and you just be you. I mean, you just post whatever you want to post up. I mean, well, you could do whatever you want to do, but I mean, you don't want, for an example, you don't want to be trying to copy someone. Like, let's say that there's someone who's talking about the economy or something. You don't want to be copying them because there's going to be a channel flooded. So there's going to be a flood of channels talking about the same thing. But unless you want to, unless it's something that you want to do and you don't care if there's a million other people doing the same thing you are, then go for it. If it's something you want to do because it's fun, if you feel like it's fun, go for it. Go. By all means, you know, copy what the other person is doing, like, and create your own newscast or whatever. I mean, if it's something that you want to do, by all means do it. But I mean, but anyway, but just understand though that some people that you may have a lot of people doing the same thing you are, and then that's where you don't want to get disappointed if nobody's looking at your channel and stuff, because it's like someone else has a lot of popularity over you apparently. Well, for me, I just know that I didn't get popular. I supposedly didn't get popular. You know, when I actually started getting really popular, it's 2020. When I posted that video up for January 1st, 2000, the year 2000, when the new millennium came out, when I posted that video right on January 1st, like 2020, and then I posted the January 1st, 2000 video on January 1st, 2020. I mean, and then it blew up. I mean, it blew up. Like my channel blew up, and I gained about like 40,000 subscribers on the first year there. So I mean, chances are, I mean, if you post up a video and YouTube shouts out for you or something. Well, getting shout outs, I mean, sometimes you can get lucky and YouTube might shout out a video for you, but not all shout outs from YouTube gets attention though. Not all of them do apparently. Because I seen shout outs of people who only had like 100 views on the video, but I didn't click on it because it didn't seem interesting. But apparently my video must have been interesting because it said January 1st, 2000, and a lot of people probably got interested on what the year 2000 was like, you know. So yeah. Anyway, and still one other thing about YouTube, or one other thing about the nature of what on how like you get money on YouTube, or the nature, like what's the nature of the audience, you know, like what do the audience look for these days, you know, on YouTube, you know, like, well, you know what, if I on my channel, like I've noticed, it seems to me that these days I'm getting more views on my modern blogs. It seems like, well, you know what, it seems to me that I'm getting a lot of views, more views on you know, on something that's negative. Yeah, you heard me right, negative, you know, like, well, in my case, the job loss, you know, when I lost my job 3 months ago. I mean, like when I'm talking about my layoff, I seem to be getting a lot of views with that. I think because there's a lot of people relating to me about, and then they want to hear my story. I mean, sometimes people like to hear other people's negative story, like, or something the negative that happened, you know, anything negative. Like you could, maybe perhaps you could create a channel and about your life or something, or just create a channel and post something bad that happened to you, such as even a breakup or something, like that's anything. Or let's say you had a house burned down or something, or like in the wildfires or something, or maybe you could post a video about your car and that your car broke down and you're trying to figure out what happened, or maybe like, well, maybe because that person probably has the same car and they want to know what happened to your car. Well, you just post up anything. You just post up whatever. I mean, but it seems to me that people seems to be amused by looking at other people's lives, you know, while posting their life stories. I mean, it seems like it. I mean, because I seem to be getting a lot of views on videos like my layoff stories, like when I got laid off, and my update. I seem to be getting a lot of views on that, or I get a lot of views for blogs, just a blog about life. I mean, or blogging about my life, or what I'm doing, things like that. I mean, what are other videos that seem to be getting a lot of views? Well, for me, it does seem like I'm blogging about my life, or just, well, mostly my modern blogs are what seems to be getting a lot of views. And then, of course, a blog about how it feels to be 54 and things like that. I mean, it seems like I'm getting a lot of views on the modern blogs. So, I mean, but then again, I got popular over the years because of my videos from, like, when I posted it up in 2020. And I have several people that known me for a while. So, over time, we started getting popular, like, even if it takes a little while. Apparently it took a little while for me to get enough popularity and get enough views to where I can make $500 a month on my videos. But the thing, another thing too, I mean, my modern blogs is not entirely where all the money is coming from, though. It's all of my old videos that are posted up, and people apparently are still looking at my nostalgia videos. I mean, it seems like they're still getting a lot of attention, my nostalgia videos. And so apparently that's probably where at least 50% of my money is at. I mean, like all the nostalgia. But apparently, see, my videos, what's different about my videos with the modern bloggers of today is like my old videos, especially from the 80s and 90s, like VHS home videos. What's unique about these, like the older they get, the more cooler they get. I mean, it's not like these newscaster channels like you know, people talking about the economy. Like they put up a video and then it'll be popular for that day, but then it's nobody's gonna look at it anymore after a few months, you know, because it's gonna be invalidated because where they're looking for the up-to-date information. But with my videos, though, the old nostalgia video, that it's always gonna be valid. I mean, if anything, it's gonna get more popular the older they get. So I mean, that's the thing that's good about my particular situation. You know, like, yeah. So that's what I have to say. I mean, because at least my income from YouTube may not be a lot, but it'll probably stay this way. I mean, I'll always be making something. I'll always gonna be making something like for the rest of my life. You know, it's like saying that, you know, would we rather make $500 a month for the rest of our lives, or would we rather make $1 million on the first year and then 500 on the next year? And then 100 on the following year, and then 50 on the, and then all of a sudden it just stops. I know I've seen some YouTubers that where I mean they were really popular for some time, and they were making good money and stuff for some of them, and then all of a sudden nobody's watching their videos anymore. I mean, I heard that story before. I've seen that a few times. You know, like where some YouTubers, they started out being really popular and stuff and everything, but then they suddenly dwindled, and then all of a sudden they're just not making any money at all. I mean, I heard that. I mean, but not all of them, and not for all of them it happens. But I do know. I mean, I seen that. But for me though, for my case, I may not be very popular to a lot of people, like to where I'm making millions of dollars, you know, but I mean, but I do know that my videos will never get old. I mean, my old videos, my old nostalgia videos, they'll never get old. It's not like some popular YouTubers where some of their videos get popular, but over time they get kind of boring. But my nostalgia videos will never get old. I mean, will never get old. But of course, it's just certain YouTubers with their current videos that they post, they could stay popular for years and years. But then, of course, I mean, one example is this guy. Their name was Wasabi, Roy and Alex Wasabi, when they were very popular at that one time. But I don't know how popular he is now. But I mean, he's grown up, and so now he's kind of grown up out of all that, doing those stupid things that he used to do, and then he would get so many views about it from kids, mostly focused on kids, you know. But anyway, well, I mean, so that's the whole nature of my YouTube. That's the whole nature, and one of those, like I said, one of those things that I do know that seems to get a lot of views for me is my modern blogs, or my modern blogs about talking about life, like this one is, or say talking about like how old, like, it seems like my blogs, the things that I have to talk about, like all types of subjects. It seems like these are the ones that seem to get popular, seem to be popular, but especially like an update from my layoff story. I mean, yeah, an update, you know, like especially that. I mean, but I mean, it seems like, I mean, like the videos that don't seem to get a lot of views, it's like it's nostalgia video. Well, some of the nostalgia videos don't. Well, certain subjects, I guess. I mean, I cannot really say which ones because I had not. Well, some subjects don't get a lot of views, but the ones like where I'm talking like this is one that seems to be like they want an update. A lot of y'all like an update of my life and stuff. Well, thank you very much for your interest in watching the video here. So yeah. Anyway, so that's what I have to say about the nature of YouTube. The nature of my YouTube and everything, and basically like how you get. It's basically like for like how they basically pay me. I mean, like they pay how you get money from YouTube. You know, like, and another thing with YouTube too, like when you're on YouTube, sometimes YouTube can be a full-time job. You know, I mean, sometimes it can be. I mean, because like for some people, like you have to constantly create content for all of you to be interested in continuing watching your videos and stuff. But it's like well, yeah, it could be quite a job, like but especially if you're someone that's not really getting, not that doesn't have a lot of pay. I mean, especially for some of you, you might say that it's too much work if I'm only gonna get paid like a few $100s a month, But the key to all this is just you just do it because you like doing it. I mean, you just do it because it's a hobby. I mean, you don't focus on money. You just do it because you like doing it. I mean, so yeah. I mean, telling you, son. Yeah, and one other thing about YouTube too. I mean, as well, one of those things that I have to say too about when you're making videos on YouTube, you gotta make sure that you're perfect. You gotta make sure everything's perfect on you because you're gonna get criticism like you'd never believe. I mean, you would get a lot of criticism, and it can be quite annoying about like those certain the criticisms. Like for an example, like if I put a video of me driving and I had just barely got in the car, and then I start driving off, and then I make a video, and usually I put the seatbelt on after about a couple minutes or after a few seconds of driving, but I can't put it on while I'm holding my phone, for that example. And then I'm gonna get comments left and right getting on me for not wearing the seatbelt like a fucking grandma, like a nagging mom and shit, like, huh. Yeah, I mean, that gets quite annoying. So that's one of those things, like one of those tips that I have to tell you. If you're making a YouTube video, make sure that everything's perfect, and that includes your hygiene or anything that looks amiss. Like, let's say, make sure your lips are clear of food or whatever, or anything like that. Be sure that like you don't have a mess in the house or whatever, because they're gonna criticize you for everything that you do, everything. So you want to make sure, and that includes in having anybody in your video. You don't want to. You really don't want to post YouTube with your siblings or your family in the video, because they might start criticizing them about this or that, and you just don't want that. And if you wonder why my family is never on the videos, it's because of that. I mean, because we don't want anybody, like, we don't want any crap from these Karens, from Karens who may like talk crap about things that they don't know. I mean, that they don't know about life and stuff. So, and also for the record, if you would probably notice why in these movies that they always have the handsome guys or handsome girls, because they don't want to put someone with an ear defect like me or something, because you're gonna hear criticism all over the place, and we just don't need that shit, man. We just don't need it. So apparently I probably wouldn't qualify to be a movie star if I have this. Well, anyways, yeah. And then even my teeth too, like when I lost my teeth and stuff, and then I was waiting for the partials, these dentures to come, and then people would give me shit about, like, yeah, you gotta get new teeth or something, at least some stupid shit that you're gonna get people who are stupid out there. I mean, you're gonna get people who are little asswipes out there, like putting unnecessary like comments, like there's people out there that's just out there to give you a hard time, like. So one of those things too, I mean, like if you don't care, I mean, maybe if you don't care that people do that, but then it gets really annoying, man. You're gonna constantly get the same comment that's offensive, like you're not wearing the seatbelt, or shit, man, and like not wearing the helmet or whatever. Like sometimes, like, well, we just do what we want to do, but apparently you just gotta be sure that when you put a video, but like, we gotta make sure you're perfect, because you're gonna get a lot of Karens and you're gonna get a lot of shit from people. So I make sure, I mean, because it's just annoying. I mean, although I don't care what people think about me, about say my teeth are missing or something, or me not wearing the seatbelt. But trust me, man, you're not gonna want to hear those comments, man. I mean, because you're gonna constantly get comments like that, and it's gonna get on your nerves. You know, it'll get on your nerves. So just make sure. That's my tip for the day. So I mean, that's the thing, you know, like that's my tip for the day. And then also, of course, you don't want to, you really don't want to talk about anything negative. You know, especially, you don't want to especially talk about politics or even the church, you know, God. You especially don't want to talk about that. Because I mean, well, for me, I'm not into the politics, regardless if I would want to record it or not. I'm not into it anyway. But God, I am with God. I am 100% with the Lord. But I don't talk about it. Once in a while I will. But I'm not gonna bombard. And maybe if I want to talk about God, maybe I would put a separate channel on that. Maybe I would make a separate channel, but maybe once in a while I'll talk about God. But of course I'm gonna get bombarded with from all the atheists, the non-believers and stuff. So yeah, that's my tip for the day. So yeah, it seems like like I said, all in all, it seems like the views that get the kind of views that seem the kind of videos that seem to get the most views is like some kind of like life story from any person, from some person, any life story from you, or any life story. I mean, like, especially like if it's something that's negative that happened in your life, you know, especially like kind of like how you got through it. And that could even be talking about, like, say, a stolen car that you really loved, and how did you deal with it, and how did they find it? Anything. You talk about anything, you know, like. But it seems like I get the most views with negative. It's kind of, yeah, I know it's funny, huh? But then again, you know, like, half of my views is from people wanting to see what the past life to look like, you know. So, yeah, I have 1,500 videos up on YouTube. So half of my views is from that, but the other half of the views is my blogs, is my modern blogs. Well, I hope I'm not making this video too long. I mean, sometimes it's hard to help, like having a lot to say, a lot to talk about. I mean, so this is my YouTube. This is my story about my YouTube and everything, and the nature of it, and how I get paid, or how much I get paid, and all that stuff, and how it's based on, and everything, and what videos seem to get the most views and stuff, and how you could probably make your videos get a lot of views. So, but one of those things, like I said, is that you have to work hard. Sometimes you have to work a lot. I mean, you have to work a number of hours on YouTube to be able to get anywhere on it. But I'm doing this all for hobby. So, well, anyway, I hope you liked this video. I hope I didn't bore you with this one now. So, I mean, so yeah. All right. See you on the next video. Yeah.